Are we ready?
Oh, hello, testing, 1, 2. Can everybody hear me? Hi, everyone. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for coming, and happy birthday, Lori. I'm Alderwoman Lenny Minow-Hoppenworth of the 48th Ward, Edgewater and Uptown, and it's really an honor for us to be gathered here today. You know that Lori Cannon was a beloved friend, a 48th Ward neighbor, and LGBTQ plus rights pioneer. Lori was our AIDS angel, and she dedicated her life to helping others. And we are humbled to honor her with a commemorative street sign today, right outside of Groceryland here in Edgewater. The food pantry she co-founded decades ago in 1995, and it continues to be a lifeline for so many in the 48th Ward and beyond. And I join so many throughout our community in grief for her loss, remembrance for her remarkable spirits, and celebration of her legacy of LGBTQ plus support and advocacy. And there is an iconic black and white photo of Lori and Victor, and she's holding up a sign in tribute to their friend Daniel Sotomayor. And the sign says, "You just have to do what you can and don't give up, because someday there are going to be survivors." And you are the survivors that we are fighting for. I remember meeting Lori after I was elected to city council and stepping into Groceryland and saying, "Hi, I'm Lenny." And 2 hours later, I don't remember if I said anything at all. So I feel like I'm a survivor too, Lori Cannon. But we are not only survivors, we are transformed by her life. And so that is why we're here today. So thank you all for coming. First speaker is our Honorable Mike Quigley, Congressman, 5th District.
Thank you. Good morning. People ask me, how do you handle DC? And the answer is, because I get to come home and be with my friends. I'm wearing my USAID hat because it reminds us what Lori taught. You've got to care for those that no one else is going to care for, that nobody else is going to love. And in a time in the world when our president has isolated us and taken away, we need to remind ourselves the best thing we can do for each other is care for each other, love each other, and move forward. So thank you so much for all that. And I just want to tell you, it's great to be with genuine legends. And people ask, why did you go? I went after the Trump housing secretary because he's talked about special rights. I got to the point where it's pretty clear he's talking about you. So we're not going to put up with that. And the reason is, we're all in this together. John Lewis said, we may have come over here in different ships, we're in the same boat now. So let me quickly read. We passed in the House a congressional record statement on behalf of Lori. So just bear with me, because I think this is what the rest of the country is going to know. It'll be embodied in our history, because she's like so many of you. For over 4 decades, Miss Cannon, known as Chicago's AIDS Angel, spearheaded some of the most important initiatives in Chicago's LGBTQ plus rights movement. Motivated by the inhumane treatment of those with AIDS and affected by HIV, she co-founded Open Hand Chicago in 1988, a meals delivery service to ensure that those suffering from AIDS would not go hungry. She then led Open Hand in its transition to a food pantry program known as Groceryland, thereby ensuring people in need would not lose their ability to obtain much needed nourishment. Also in 1988, Miss Cannon co-founded ACT UP Chicago, a grassroots protest group which put the AIDS epidemic front and center when the government ignored the devastation of the community. She was instrumental in helping create the Names Project, bringing the AIDS Memorial Quilt to Chicago in 88, 90, and 94. Then, in 2010, she co-founded the Legacy Project, an organization committed to honoring the cultural and civic contributions of the LGBTQ plus individuals, including placing bronze plaques along North Halsted Street. A pillar of the community she loves so much, Ms. Cannon was unrelenting in her commitment to the well-being of each individual. When the government and the families of those affected by HIV/AIDS abandoned those who were suffering, Ms. Cannon stepped up to fill that void, organizing, volunteering, protesting, feeding, hugging, and loving each person when there was no one else. As her longtime friend, Cheryl Holtzman, remembers, she took care of the whole universe. She was born and raised in West Rogers Park. Her father was a champion of Native American rights. Her younger brother, J.H., was born with a defective heart, leading to a lifelong disability. After her older brother, Jules, suffered a horrific motorcycle accident, she became a caretaker for both of her brothers, a precursor to her life of service. When she passed away on Sunday, August 3rd, 2025, Chicago and its LGBTQ plus community lost a selfless champion. Her legacy will live on in the community that she supported and loved so much. I am forever grateful for her immeasurable contribution and impact on the city and its LGBTQ plus community. Thank you all, and Lori, happy birthday, and God bless.
Thank you. And before we introduce the next speaker, I just want to shout out to Angelique, daughter of Lori, who is wearing her flip-flops today in honor of her mama. Our next speaker is the Honorable Committee Woman Carol Ronan.
Thank you. I'm really honored to be here, and I want to thank Victor for inviting me. I thought maybe we'd have like a few people.
Point it towards your face. Get it really rock star.
I am a rock star. There we go. Hey. I'm so honored to be here and to be able to speak on this wonderful occasion. And I want to just thank Victor for inviting me. Thank you to the Congressman for everything you've been doing for us and fighting so hard. I'm kind of old, so I wrote down some notes so I wouldn't forget what I wanted to say. But I did it on my telephone, so that's kind of young, right? So let's see if it works. So I grew up in the 60s. It was a time of revolution, civil rights, the Vietnam War. Should I wait till they go over? Okay. Hey, get out of here. Yeah, come on. So rude. Okay. So anyway, I'm a girl of the 60s, and I loved that time. It was a time of change. We all believed we needed to do something, and we all thought we did accomplish a lot, and if we didn't, we had to try. And by the way, I hate it when young people say, "Thanks, Boomer," just so you know. Don't anybody say that here. So I'm a believer in group action, in resistance, in the need to speak out. Yes. Right? Yes. But in all my years, I've never, ever witnessed anything like the way the gay community organized against almost everyone else to fight AIDS. Today, it's really hard to fathom how difficult that was. But think back to the 1980s, those of you who read about it or were here. Most of you were here. It was tough. It was a marginalized minority who very few people cared about. It was them, not us. That was the way everybody thought back then. It was a disease that scared everyone. We didn't fully understand how it was transmitted, and there was no way to stop it. Back then, when it first started, being infected was a death sentence, and our government had no interest at all in finding out how to stop it. It was them, not us. But somehow this community came together in the face of ignorance and prejudice and fear, in the face of dying, in the face of their friends dying one after another. They came together in what I believe was the greatest example of activism, of purpose, of tikkun olam. I was in awe watching and helping when I could, but Lori Cannon was not on the sidelines. You've heard what the congressman said about all the things she did, so I won't repeat all those things. But she lived and breathed the moment and the movement. She made it happen. Without her, I can't imagine how things would have gone. And talking to her and listening to her, you got such a better sense of what happened and what it really meant. So me getting to know Lori a lot better over these last 20 years really gave me a deep, deep understanding of the victories that you all achieved with her, and learning that everything was hard, and how victories, even when they were achieved, like miracle drugs, the battle isn't over. It's never over. The program that Lori fought valiantly and endlessly to keep afloat was a lifeline for so many in need, because even when things got better, they didn't get better for everyone, and Lori knew that, and she did something about it. Now, this is where the technology comes in, you guys. Hold on. Lori was a presence that cannot be replaced. She was unique, larger than life, and I loved it when she would call and say, "I think it's time for another lunch." And many of you participated in those, with me or without me. It was always so much fun. You never knew who exactly would be there, but it would always be the most amazing and wonderful people. We would eat too much, especially if we were at Schweetz, and laugh and learn about each other. I miss those lunches, and I miss Lori. Thank you.
I have the honor of serving one of the most diverse wards in the city of Chicago as the first openly queer person to represent the 48th ward, and I'm part of the gayest city council in our history, and I'm very honored to welcome Alderman Bennett Lawson. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Alderwoman. We are the queerest city council in history. I'm actually the first person in city council history to replace a queer person on the city council. So it's an honor that I hold. It's an honor to be here today with so many friends, so many legends in our community. I am a little younger than some of you. And that meant that I got the benefit of all of the work that everyone did in the 80s and 90s, so that when I graduated from Loyola in 2000 and started working right here for Carol Ronan, the conversation was totally different than what it had been for the previous 2 decades. And 2.5 decades later, it's totally different again because of the work we continue to do. And I think we all need to recommit ourselves today to doing that in Lori's honor, to remembering that work that does go on, that when people came out of the AIDS crisis, it didn't happen equally, like Carol said, and it still doesn't. And we have disparities all over our city that we try and address as a city. I've talked about, I represent the 44th Ward. I have the AIDS Garden, and I have the Legacy Walk, so I think about Lori a lot. I live right off Halstead, so it's hard not to. But also those institutions that we have built, not just here with T-Pan. I used to be on the board of, give a shout out to T-Pan. They moved next door and found me. I didn't find them. And Groceryland. Lori knew all about me already through my good friend John Heisel, who I want to lift up his name today too. I I had no idea who this woman was, and she had my number. She knew she could call me to get to elected officials. She could get me to volunteer, give her a little money, and got to know her through her persona, through all of you, and then obviously one-on-one. And our eighth angel with the fiery red hair and personality to match is someone I learned certainly a lot from. And I'll never forget, I was watching Channel 11 special on our community and the AIDS crisis, and Lori didn't mince any words, right? Who cares about faggots and junkies, right? And that's how real this was. And people like me didn't understand that because I was too young to. And people younger now don't really get that. But we have Lori on record saying it. We have so many people here, and the historians in our community who are here too to tell that story. And so I'm proud to be here to lift up her legacy and celebrate her birthday in my old stomping grounds once again. We've got a busy month ahead where I think we're going to think about Lori and so many trailblazers as we celebrate Pride together citywide, as we come together as a community, and look forward to doing something every day to make our world a little bit better. So thank you all for your commitment and service.
Our next speaker is Dana House from Heartland Alliance Health.
I've been working with Lori for the past 10 years. I am, on paper, her manager, but that's just on paper, because you know Lori, she does her thing. Hold it closer to my mouth. Okay. In December, I had the opportunity to serve our clients here on the north side by myself. I had to actually close service for the day because we had a little flooding at the pantry, and I was so glad I didn't have to have and right into the mic. Like this? Okay. All right. Thank you. I had to close the pantry for a day. I'm glad I didn't have to have that conversation with Lori because it would have been a disaster. But I assured my volunteers who worked very tireless on that day it's going to be okay. Go home. I'll take care of the clients. I'm just going to give them gift cards and send them on their way. That day, I served about 15 clients, and I had some amazing conversations with them. They were so vulnerable. They told me so much, and just in exchange of a gift card, I learned a lot that I didn't expect to learn. There was one client that came out, and she didn't think she was going to be able to make it to the store that night, and she hadn't been here in a while. So I served her, I gave her food in addition to the gift card, and I helped her out to the car. And at the end of, when I was leaving, she gave me a hug. I was so touched. And I thought, man, I have the best job in the world. I love my clients. I love the work that we do. And I understand why Lori came in every single day to do the work. She never wanted to miss out. I could not even get her to do trainings, because that was my job, to get her to do trainings. Not on a Tuesday, not on a Thursday, and Saturdays were out. I'm very grateful for the passion that she had for her clients, for the work. She was such a fighter. I remember someone accidentally told her she was going to get some hams for Christmas, and they had to take it back. She was, they heard her, and I think she found out some way. They had hams, her clients did not miss out on hams, and so she fights for them in that way. And I am so grateful to have known her and to have worked with her for the past 10 years. And so, she touched people here on the north side, but her program goes beyond the north side. We have the west side and the south side. I do have a founder that was telling me about her dropping off groceries to our clients on the west side. So it's beyond the north. It's all over the city. And at one point, within the last 10 years, I was delivering to Elgin and Aurora. So it's big, and I'm so glad to have been a part of it. And we're going to continue to do the work. I thank you, all of you volunteers. I know you guys are like, who is this person up here? I probably should have been up here. And I know you guys are very close to her. You knew her very well. And we couldn't do the work without you guys and the donors that she could never say no to, not even if it's a Sunday and you're off, and she's going to make it happen. And so I appreciate everything that each and every one of you have done, and will still continue to do the work despite whatever's happening, where. Thank you.
Yeah, we're gonna continue to do the work here in Groceryland and from wherever neighborhood you're coming from. Again, I want to thank you all for being here. Lori, it's unbelievable that she's gone, but we're gonna keep going. I want to introduce our last speaker, who needs no introduction, and really the reason why you all are here today, because he wanted to make sure that this was a collection of people that she wanted to be with. So thank you for being here, and I'd like to introduce Victor Salp of the Legacy Project.
Thank you. Thank you, Alderwoman. I appreciate everyone's remarks here this morning. Lori would have been tickled by this turnout. But there's one person we all surely wish was here, and that's the woman herself. To address that, I have decided to read an excerpt from a speech given by Lori a few years back. Her words mean as much now as ever. In August 1988, a small group of people gathered in a living room in Lakeview. We were veterans of ACT UP and the Ames Project. Some of us had worked together on the National March on Washington. Whatever our background, we had one thing in common. Everyone we knew was either dead, dying, or struggling to help someone who was heading there. We were tired, we were scared, we were angry, but we needed to do something more than sew AIDS, quilt panels, and mentally prepare for the death to claim another friend. We needed something more. It was from this unlikely bunch of medieval people stumbling through a plague that a program to feed those who were dying came about. Using San Francisco's Project Open Hand as a model, we created Open Hand Chicago, the city's first and only in-home Meals on Wheels program for people living with AIDS. Open Hand delivered its first meals prepared in a private home on Christmas Eve, 1988. Regular meal delivery started January 2nd, 1989, out of Ann Sather's kitchen. First there were 35 clients, then 70, then 120, then 300. Once social workers became aware of the program's existence, referrals began to pour in. By the end of 1989, over 41,000 hot and ready-to-eat evening dinners and boxed lunches were being delivered every single day to 1,200 people suffering from AIDS. By 1993, we had delivered over 175,000 meals. In spite of its rapid growth, Open Hand remained committed to being responsive and flexible. Though there was never a waiting list, we knew something was going to have to change if we were going to continue operating within our budget. Thanks to the advent of the protease inhibitor cocktail, thousands of people were freed from automatic death sentence AIDS had been, but they were still too sick to do more than provide minimal care for themselves. As it turned out, by providing groceries, 3 times as many people could be served from every dollar raised that previously went exclusively to home-delivered meals. That was how Groceryland Food Pantry, a division of Open Hand, was born. Today, Groceryland leads a network of food pantries as part of Heartland Health Alliance, providing clients throughout the Chicago area with enough food to prepare nearly 682,000 meals annually. The program offers dietary consultation, health screening, diagnostic services, and counseling, all of which combine to improve the quality of life for people still caught in the grip of an epidemic which shows no signs of abating. The successful evolution of the original Open Hand is a shining tribute to the creativity, tenacity, compassion, and common sense of Chicago's LGBTQ community, which built from the bottom up every major institutional service provider for the AIDS HIV community. Those of us, the survivors, have an obligation to bear witness and to celebrate our heroes until that one day when we can close our doors for good because we are no longer needed. That was Lori in a nutshell. It was always about the volunteers, about what so many did, what so many gave, but it was never about herself. Well, today we recognize the volunteers and the mission, of course, but we are here for the woman herself. As Groceryland and its fellow network pantries prepare to commemorate the 20 million meals. It's my honor to recognize Lori Cannon as the visionary who made it all possible. Because none of us would be here if it wasn't for her. Thank you, Lori.
Okay, we've been practicing. And we're going to reveal Lori Cannon Way in just a moment, so everybody get in position. All right. It is an honor on behalf of the city of Chicago to dedicate this street to Lori Cannon. Welcome, Lori Cannon Way.
I'll be right back. Don't move, don't move. Do it again.